95. Just driving. I got it in 4 places.
Hang up and then drive it.
Jared
So,
carried it already.
red. It's really hard to get.
You going tomorrow?
These are nice rents.
No, actually, I've got family in town from my brother, my sister-in-law, my sister, her.
I'm leaving here to get my car key pass.
You good, brothers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Tell me when.
Just your name and spelling to start us off.
Okay, I'm Wellington Craig Lawson, Lawson. I'm the attorney for Mr. Dowling and the people to elect Mr. Dowling. I'm the attorney that filed the lawsuit in federal court. Basically, I'm going to give it to you like I'm explaining it to a 5-year-old. We filed a lawsuit on the 29th of this month, alleging that, well, we wanted the court to require the governor to go ahead and set a special elections, and he had not done so up until that point. After Mr. Dowling did his press release on the 29th and filed a lawsuit, the governor was in negotiation with the supervisor of elections in Broward County and I believe Palm Beach County. They recommended special elections primary in August and the final election in November. He then pivots and he decides that he's going to wait until November to do the primary. So what we did was amended our complaint. We filed it this afternoon. We're asking the courts to make him file or have the special elections sooner. Based on all of the things that's going on in Congress, the George Floyd Act, the For the People Act, and in addition to his filing, recently filing or signing into law, the voter restriction, what we believe to be voter restriction law. All of this is affecting the 20th district, which is predominantly black, predominantly Democratic, and people that did not vote for him. So we're asking the court to make him move this date up as soon as possible, no later than August for the primary and November for the special election. And that's what we're doing. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Dowling. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am the Reverend Elvin Dowling, a resident of Broward County, a native of Palm Beach County, and a candidate for United States House of Representatives for the 20th Congressional District of Florida, a seat once held by my longtime mentor and friend, the late Honorable L.C.L. Hastings, a man who can never, ever be replaced. Before I begin my remarks, let me just preface my comments by saying that the devil is always busy. I stand here today with Congressman Hastings' son, Mr. Al C. Jody Hastings II, in solidarity with the fundamental American notion that everyone deserves equal representation under the law, and the ideal in this country that taxation without representation is tyranny. As you know, 1 week ago today, I filed a lawsuit, Dowling versus DeSantis, in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida. In that complaint to the court, I laid out a compelling case for action on the part of Governor DeSantis in setting a reasonable and timely election to quickly fill the seat on an interim basis while critical legislation sits in the U.S. House, awaiting both input from the vote of the people's representative to that hallowed legislative chamber. On Tuesday of this week, nearly an entire month since this seat was left vacant, and 4 short days after he was put on notice that we would not take his intransigence lightly, Governor Ron DeSantis relented to our lawsuit, sort of. What he essentially did was he put 2 fingers behind his back and he acted with malice aforethought when it came to the issues that are impacting real people in a real way in the 20th Congressional District. And so America's top bully, Governor Ron DeSantis, has decided that he would put his own wisdom in the place of the people of the 20th District. see, having grown up on the corner of Palm Beach Lakes and Tamarind Avenue in West Palm Beach, I know a bully when I see one. So while it would be politically expedient for me to stand up here and take a victory lap, knowing full well that it took the minister in the race, in a race filled with lawyers and doctors and career politicians, to force DeSantis to act. I will resist the temptation to do so because the battle is still not over. For until we have an election timeline that is both reasonable and free from political gamesmanship and outright voter suppression, the battle wages on, until the day arrives when Governor Ron DeSantis sees the people of Florida's 20th Congressional District as both equal in the sight of God and in the eyes of the law. The struggle continues until we get a United States representative seated during this session of Congress. We will fight Ron DeSantis until hell freezes over, and then we'll fight him on the ice. That's why I'm here today to tell you that today I have filed an amended brief before the U.S. District Court that specifically calls on Governor DeSantis to reschedule the special election process to conclude no later than November of this year. As it stands right now, the dates that the governor has set for the election to be held, beginning November 2nd and concluding on January 11th of next year, creates one of the longest congressional vacancies in U.S. history. Now, the governor said that he has selected these dates because he wanted to give Democrats, listen to this, he wanted to give Democrats an opportunity to get their campaigns together. Yeah, right. If you believe that, I've got some beachfront property in Idaho I'm dying to sell. But what I suggest that you not fall for are half-truths, whole lies, and hogwash. In reality, the crass and calculated attempt to disenfranchise hundreds of thousands of primarily black and Latino voters, and many white voters too, appears to be perpetrated for the express political purposes of currying favor with far right-wing extremists in the 2024 Republican presidential primary. So that's why we're here today, to serve notice on the governor that you are not our king, and we are not your peasants, to call upon the other candidates in this race to stand up and say something, anything, in defense of the constituents you're seeking to serve, and to encourage the people of this great district to rise up and take action. Stand strong against the tyranny of a governor who believes you should be seen and not heard. Speak out against career politicians so hell-bent on serving themselves that they apparently have forgotten what it means to serve the people. And have faith. Have faith in the idea that one person can make a difference. For you see, one song can spark a moment. One flower can wake the dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One hand clasp lifts a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One nation, one vote can change a nation. One sunbeam can light a room. One laugh can conquer darkness. One candle can wipe out gloom. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true. One life can make the difference. The 20th Congressional District, it's up to you. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to my friend, Mr. Jody Hastings, to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon, first of all. My dad dedicated his entire life ensuring that the disenfranchised and underrepresented would have a voice. If he were here today, he would be appalled that the governor would have the audacity to leave this seat open for 9 months, to say the least. So I stand here today as a friend of Elvin, with Attorney Lawson as well, to say that the governor needs to act on this and act on it expeditiously and open this seat so that this election can take forward and that the people in this particular district will not continue to be underrepresented in terms of District 20. So I just stand here with Elvin today in solidarity.
Thank you. At this time, I will take any questions if you have any on the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just close my remarks by saying we challenged the governor last week to do something, and he did, but he chose to do the wrong thing. And so we're back. We're not going away. We're going to make sure that the voices of the people of this district are heard. We will fight to ensure that every single voice is heard, every single resident of this district that is eligible to vote can vote this session, this fall. We don't want to wait till next year. We want to be able to send representation right now. And let me just say this as I close. There is critical legislation that is pending before Congress right now. We have the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. We have many bills, the American Jobs Act. We have the American Infrastructure Act. These are critical bills that we are waiting to have voted on in Congress right now. The people of this district deserve representation on those issues right now. And so we want to make sure that this election is held in a reasonable and timely fashion. And finally, let me just say this. It is not unnoticed that just yesterday, this same governor signed an oppressive bill that limits the rights of voters in this state. We believe that his actions with regard to this special election is a continuation of bad faith when it comes to the people of this district. It is no mistake that he curries to individuals who want to roll back the clock when it comes to freedoms. It is no accident that he signs legislation that impacts the lives of Black and Brown and Latino and Democratic voters, not just in this district, but this state. And so we will fight. We will fight him again until hell freezes over, and then we'll fight him on the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much. This fight continues. Thank you.